Senator Rand Paul, as you may know by now, threatening to put a hold on the nomination of Janet Yellen as head of the Fed. Rand Paul's father has always been critical of the Fed. He's urged that the Fed be audited. Joining us this morning, Dr. Ron Paul is the former GOP presidential candidate and the host of the Ron Paul Channel. He joins us this morning from Clute, Texas. The Ron Paul Channel, Congressman, are you trying to compete with us now?
Well, that'd be a major task, but yes, I'd like to get a different spin on things. You know, maybe challenge the Fed now and then, and challenge those who don't defend the free market like I think it should be defended.
Well, it does bring us to what your son is doing. It's almost as if you handed him the football and said, "Go make these things that I tried to make happen finally happen." What kind of chances do you give this legislation?
Well, she'll be nominated. That legislation is going to pass, and I don't think anybody's questioning that. But, you know, I haven't ever talked to him about what he's doing. I've read it in the paper and heard it on the news that he might put this hold. But, you know, but he has a condition. All he wants is a vote on more transparency of the Fed. You know, you get an audit of the Fed. That's pretty minor. And I think it's the time is ripe for this now. I mean, we had a couple votes in the House, and we were able to get good support in the House. The people are for this. But Yellen, now that she's coming up and will be appointed chairman of the Fed, her reputation is for transparency. So I would think that maybe we'll get some support for her because of her announcement that she wants more transparency of the Fed, and I think we deserve it. The people deserve it. We need to know what the Fed's doing and not have all these trillions of dollars being spent and churned through the world economy without us knowing about what's happening.
But, Congressman, in a way, we've never had more transparency from this institution. I think people, you know, the sausage making has been revealed. We get these massive statements from them. There's these press conferences. We have pages and pages of their economic projections. I mean, it's kind of been like the emperor's, you know, taking his clothes off. You know, I mean, you sort of see how it all happens. What more transparency are you really asking for?
Well, I'd like to know what they're doing internationally. They never tell you what they're doing internationally. We don't know the details of the trillions of dollars that were used to bail out banks and central banks around the world and corporations during the crisis. So, yes, we should know all about that. The numbers that they give you, I mean, I don't think they're all that revealing. In some sense, yes, we know a little bit more. We get the minutes a little bit sooner. We know a little bit. But believe me, the big stuff is done in secret. And I think the American people want transparency. They're tired of being spied on, and they're sick and tired of having privacy of the Federal Reserve and complete privacy of the U.S. government. They're tired of all that. They want more openness, and I'm glad that Yellen is on the side of that issue. So someday one of you might ask her, you know, what does she think about an audit of the Fed since she supports more transparency?
Yeah, I mean, auditing, let's pretend you're right, that her appetite for transparency extends to letting the GAO in. I don't think she wants to end the Fed as you've said you want to. Where is the line? Do you really want them audited, or do you want that as a precursor to their destruction?
Well, I don't want to destroy anything. I want to repeal bad laws and bad monetary policy, and my idea is that the Fed will self-destruct. They'll lose its efficiency when the dollar goes down and is no longer a reserve currency of the world, and that's what we're working very hard on. I mean, we're losing credibility militarily, which I don't lament. I think we shouldn't be the policemen of the world, and now we've lost so much credibility with our allies. So all we have left is this hanging on to some economic power, which is very fragile because we aren't the powerhouse economically either. It's shifting to the east. That's where the wealth is going.
There's plenty of blame around Washington for that one. Congressman, I just want to go back. I was surprised that you said that you heard about Rand Paul's move from the press accounts. You guys really don't talk about this at all?
Not really. He's pretty busy, you know, and I'm pretty busy. We'll see each other, you know, at Christmas time, and but we'll probably talk about family things. So no, we didn't discuss this, and so his motivations and all, you'll have to get the details from him. But see, I think it's important that you add on to your statement that he wants to hold up the appointment on her, but it's mainly to get more transparency and have Audit the Fed bill passed, and I think that is very, very popular with the American people.
I think it's time for a Paul family reunion, but that's just me, Congressman. I wonder how politically sterile do you think a GAO audit can be? If you're leery of government involvement overall, what are they really going to be able to tell you?
A little bit more than we have now, you know. No, it's not going to be perfect. Obviously, that is the case. But I'd like, all right, when they get to auditing the gold, I would think they should get a private company to do that. I mean, they're hysterical when you say, well, is the gold really there? Well, nobody knows. If it's there, why don't they just let us audit the gold? We haven't had a true audit of the gold for 50 years. And there's a lot of hints. Has this gold been loaned out or sold, or who owns it? The Germans want their gold back from the Fed, and the Fed say, oh, well, we'll give it back to you in 6 or 7 years. I mean, what's going on? Why don't you guys care about that a little bit? Something very strange about that. And now the Germans were annoyed with that. They want their gold back. Now, just think about Merkel. We spy on her. We've been listening to her on a private phone for years and years. No wonder people are getting annoyed. But it should shake it. It shouldn't make us angry at these countries. It should shake us up, shake up the American people, and say, let's clean house over here. Let's have a different type of government where we don't think that we run the world, and that we shouldn't bully people around, and that we think we can spy on everybody every single minute of the day.
Congressman Ron Paul. Rand, give your father a call. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.